Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rachel's Leadership Lounge. This is a space for real conversations about leadership, growth, identity, and becoming. And we're doing this without the polish, okay? Without the performative stuff, just honest dialogue with people who are doing meaningful work in the world. And I'd like to introduce you to one of those individuals today. Today, I am joined by Megan J. Baker. She is a wealth management expert, and I am so glad to have her on the show. I'm going to share with you a little bit about how Megan and I got together. But before we go into that, let's say hi. Megan, say hi to the people.
Hello, everyone. Hi,
Oh,
Arliss.
yes, we are honored to have you with us. And I know that you have a very extensive background. So I would like to tell everybody a little bit about you, if that's okay.
Totally fine.
All right. Well, guess who you are meeting, everybody? This is Megan J. Baker, someone who has known me since I was a little girl. We grew up in Jacksonville, Florida together and attended the same church together. But she is not the same little girl I knew from way back then. She has transformed in so many incredible ways. Megan comes with a wealth of experience around wealth management and financial aptitude. She's really strong in so many areas. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Roth IRAs, trust funds, wills, how to make sure you have financial health, and the confidence of building your wealth as well. She is your go-to person when it comes to all things finances, wealth, and let's even add abundance to it, Megan. I think
Yes.
we can add abundance to it as well. So not only does she do that with grace and expertise, but she also happens to be quite an accomplished singer as well. So she is layered, people, and we are excited that she is joining us today. The purpose of our conversation is to, one, give you all some practical tips and things that you can start to uh, change your mindset on when it comes to money, but also so that you can connect with her after the episode today. So we will be including ways that you can contact Megan. Megan, is it okay if the people reach out to you on all of
Of
these things?
course. Yes. Reach,
Bring them
reach.
on. Bring them. Well, wonderful. So I wanted to start with just our origin story because I mentioned that we grew up together. Like, tell the people a little bit about who you are and where you came from.
Well, like you said, hometown Jacksonville, Florida. I now reside in this good old state of Georgia, by way of Charlotte, North Carolina. And background, I'm the youngest of 14 kids. My mother, I'm a mama's girl and a daddy's girl. Grew up in church, like you talked about, and always had the aspiration of singing and songwriting, and decided about 4 years ago that it was my time to spread my wings, and fell into, well, I'm not going to say I fell into,
Yeah.
but the financial services industry chose me. And I discovered that I'm not a monolith, right? And so being able to help families with their finances and individuals and businesses grow and become better when it comes to not only making money, but their relationship with money, and how they continue to utilize it as a great partner and tool in their lives to reach their goals and things of that nature. And on the personal side, like I said, I'm a singer songwriter. I love to perform around town, and I have some albums out on Spotify and things of that nature. And I believe there's more to us than one thing. And I love my mama. I love thrifting, and I also like sleep.
Oh, I know that's
I
right.
love taking a good nap.
Our
As
rest.
well.
Yes. Oh, I love what you said around helping people shift their relationship with
Hmm.
money. Now, some people may hear that and go, what do you mean a relationship
Hmm.
with? So when you say relationship and mindset around money, what do you mean for those who may not have heard that kind of language?
Well, I think that one of the things when I went on my journey of remembering who I am. I don't, we always talk about, I'm going to find myself. You're
Yeah.
already a whole person. There's nothing to find, but we just need to remember, right? So in my journey of remembering myself, I realized that I did not see money. I saw money as a piece of paper that, you exchange for goods. But I didn't realize that money is energy. It is it is a current, it is energetic, it is a part of the essence of who I am. And so in relationship, thinking about I did not have the best examples of I was not I didn't have the best examples when it came to
Yeah.
money, right? I just thought
Yeah.
it was something you spend. And then as I started growing in my own life and trying to figure out like why every time I get the money by Friday, you get the money Friday. You hear people talk about I get paid on Friday, by Sunday the money is gone.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
it's like, and I had to figure out what is the difference between me and the person across the way from me who still is able to go on vacations and do all these things. And when I
Yes.
started doing research, I started reading books like, you know, um, The Psychology of Money, and started realize Think and Grow Rich. I
Yes.
started,
Napoleon Hill.
yeah,
Yes. Think, Grow Rich is
I
good.
started following a lot of different people, Mind Valley, just doing a lot of digging, going to therapy, and
Yeah.
realizing, oh, money isn't a piece of paper. It's not just the number in my bank account, but it's energy. So, energetically, what is my relationship with the energetic flow of money? And then also and then thinking about money as a person. So if money is me and I come completely and totally equipped with everything that I need,
Mm-hmm.
then what do I think about me? You know what I mean? Like if it's a reflection, it's a mirror of who I am, then what is my money trying to tell me about me? What is the having on Friday, gone by Sunday, trying
Right.
to say about me? And so then that's when I started working towards bettering my understanding and bettering not just how to manage like my bank account, but how do I how do I relate and how does it really work? You know what I mean? Just like in a traditional relationship with a person, right? You know,
Right.
so that's what I say when I talk about our relationship with money. Looking at how what are our habits and why are the habits there and why can't we embody more of it, right? Keep more of it.
Mm. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that you said embody. We talk about, and if you've read any of the books that Megan just mentioned, these are all about inner work, right? It says that our outer world is a reflection of what or how we see ourselves, our self concept, our self belief. And so, even in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he talks about money as a person. That money is a entity, it's energy, it's a flow, a current, like you said. And you admitted that despite their best interests, that we didn't have good teachers, right?
Right.
What are some of the just natural obstacles for people when it comes to their relationship with money, when it comes to how they grew up?
Well, I know some of us have heard these sayings. What do you think I'm made of money?
Yes,
You think money
yes,
grow on trees?
yes. We ain't got McDonald's money.
We ain't got McDonald's money. Who gonna pay for that? You know, uh,
Yeah.
so things like that where and whether we laugh about it, but it truly does embed, it does embed within us our subconscious is recording it. Even though
Mhm.
consciously we may be like, I'm never gonna be like this, or I'm always
Mhm.
gonna have my McDonald's money. But subconsciously, your subconscious mind is replaying, I don't have McDonald's money. And
Yes.
your subconscious wires your nervous system. And if we really think of ourselves as spiritual energetic beings first, and recognizing that within our nervous system, if you think our nervous system is like wires in a house, right? And
Yeah.
then the breaker box controls what switches on and what switches off. So if we think about sometimes how we are raised may switch off that abundance circuit,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it switches on the scarcity circuit in our mind. And so you're trying to figure out, why can I never hold, I can make $10,000. Listen, I have made $10,000 in
Yes.
one appointment with one client.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me how long it took for that $10,000 to leave. Days.
Old Megan or current Megan?
Old
Hmm.
man is what I'm
Oh,
talking
maybe
about.
in a couple of days, couple of weeks.
Yeah, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And and so I'm bringing that up to say, when I first started in this business, I was had all these clients and I'm making good money, but the money was just going and I could not understand what was happening. And so I'm using it as an example to say, because my circuit breaker, my subconscious, that switch that said you can embody $10,000 and you can hold it,
Hmm. Hmm.
was shut off. So if we think about it in that sense, when the switch turns on, now energetically I can hold it.
Yeah.
So it's not consciously your fault
Yeah.
that the money escapes you, because you don't even know that the reason why it keeps escaping is because energetically you can't hold it.
Yeah.
That circuit has not been turned on. You know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
all we need to do is, like, once we become conscious that I think there's something off,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when we need to do the work to say, how can I turn that switch on and keep it on so that I can embody and I can hold energetically? Because if you can hold it energetically, you can
Yeah.
hold it naturally.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we try to keep something naturally before we can hold it energetically. So then, just think about it. I'm gonna use this as a post, but I was
Yeah.
flipping through TikTok and there was this retired football player talking about, after the NFL, he had 4 kids and all these things, and he was saying how every year for 10 years after the NFL, his income went down, down, down,
Wow.
multi-million dollar contract. But he said by the time year 10 came, he was living off of $28,000 and he was married with a family. Now, and then Odell Beckham just recently came
Yeah.
out a couple of months ago and said $100 million contract.
Yeah.
And he's screaming he's about to go broke. It has nothing to do with your talent. Your
Hmm.
talent does not equate to your ability to hold on to the money, because money is energy. So if energy, I can have all the talent in the world, I can sign all the contracts in the world,
Yeah.
but you will still be broke if your mindset has not been rewired. If you have not been rewired in order to hold the frequency of abundance, which it equates to money, it equates to happiness, it equates to
Yeah.
joy. Abundance is so much bigger. Money is the lowest form.
Yeah.
Money is the lowest form of wealth.
Hmm. Yep. Health wealth is one of the highest ones, right? Some of the things that are the highest versions are the things we can't generate ourselves. So your health, if you're in great shape and you're doing well and you're able to maintain that, that's abundance
Yes.
to someone. I mean, not going to say too much, but my husband's a little older than me, and he knows what I'm saying when he says, "No, my health, in many cases, is far more important and valuable than my coin." Yep,
Yeah.
that's like you said, it's the lowest. And when I hear you say that circuit breaker and that it's an auto programming, I feel like it's sort of autopilot for many people.
Yes.
They don't even know they're wired that way.
Yeah.
It comes from generational raising. Sometimes it's logic
Yeah.
and intellect that keeps us from turning toward this. I know, for example, someone will say, "Oh, keep it real, be realistic." Like, if whatever, you got to be realistic, and that takes us out of being able to energetically hold things. And
Yeah.
your example about the athletes who make plenty of money, but then all of a sudden no longer, it reminds me of lottery winners,
Yeah.
right? How many times do people win the lottery and they've got that same old programming?
Hmm.
And before we know, I mean, it's on the shows, they lose the entire fortune and they go back to where they were or even worse than what they were. So that's what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, because it's just like if we, and even if we equate it to, when a person is in a relationship, right? So if you have extremely low self esteem and
Yeah.
let's say you attract a partner that is like not perfect, but is a great balance for you and they're understanding and they get you and all these things. And they're like, hey, I will wait for you, babe, different things like that. And how
Yep.
many of us have jacked up those relationships
Yeah. Self sabotage.
because we all of a sudden I can't stand them. You aggravate me. Why you so nice? Get off me.
Yes.
Because we
Yes.
don't know what it's like to be loved and cared for unconditionally without constraints or conditions or whatever the case may be. And so it's the same thing so then you feel undeserving. So think of that in relation to money.
Ah, that's a perfect example.
Think of that in relation to money. So like for me, I realized what got me on this journey was I making money, making lots of money, but then it's escaping from me, and then I'm trying to figure out, well, what? It's because what I realized was internally I didn't believe I deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like my nervous system was like, "Ooh, this is not safe." The
Mm-hmm.
overflow, my nervous system felt like overflow is unsafe.
Yes.
If you having more than a certain amount of money in your bank account, that's unsafe.
Mm, mm.
You being able to pay your bills on time, whoa, that's unsafe. But consciously,
Of course not. That's exactly what you want.
what?
Yes.
No, what? No. But then
Right.
when I realized that my circuit breaker was off, and
Yeah.
so then I had to go back and through therapy, through coaching,
Yeah.
um, my own personal studying. And also, I'm going to say this, your friendship circle is so important. Let me tell you something. If I did not have certain people in my life,
Yeah.
my circuit breakers would still be off.
Yeah. We hear that we are the sum of the five people that are in proximity to us most. So if you have two mentors that are C-suite
Mm-hmm.
and make over $500,000 a year, you have a coach that coaches you on a regular basis and helps you break some of those limiting beliefs. And then you've got a best friend and she wants to help plan 2026 is going to be our wealthiest year ever. And then you've got a sibling who also believes we're going to break the curses. We're going to be the new leaders of the next coming generations. Well,
Yeah.
those five people all reinforce the wealth mindset, the
Yeah.
identity that it would take to draw that in. But
Yeah.
if you've got the same old friends from high school, the same old friends from the block, they can subconsciously help resist that money from you. They can make it seem like it's odd that you even want it. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And, and I'm so thankful for my friend, like the friends that I left behind. and actually my circle got so small,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it got down to 5 people. It got down to
Yeah.
5 people. I was like, oh. And but those 5 people are key, and were key in saying, when I said, okay, I'm leaving to go to Charlotte, and they were like, okay, we're gonna miss you, but do what you gotta do. And
Mm,
we're here to support you. We're gonna give you your space, things of that nature. And then I garnered some other friends that were on this path of I'm building a business too, and some were starting, some were already there, some were there, right?
yeah.
And so it's like to be able to talk to these people, and everybody's kind of like, oh yeah, I've been there, or I'm there, or
That's,
I'm not quite there, and then we're all kind of helping each other come up, and we're all kind of helping each other pull the other person to the level, everybody. But then also those people who gonna say that one word and then leave it there, and you gotta go sit with yourself and meditate on it and say, it's okay, Houston, we got a problem, let me readjust. But what
yeah.
so what I'm saying in that is, you're not going to do this by yourself, right? It's a team effort, and that team, like you said, it's going to come from mentors, it's going to come from books, it's going to come from videos on YouTube, and it's
Yes.
also going to come from the friends around you. And if your friends are not talking the same talk that you talking, they're not the friends in this season of your life.
Yes. Yes. I hear the word cohesion,
Yeah.
or coherence. And
Yeah.
this is Napoleon Hill is great. I also love Neville Goddard. He talks
Yes.
about manifesting money, and he does it through a spiritual lens. So anybody who's listening that has faith as well, to tie it into what the scriptures say about money, they talk about coherence.
Yeah.
And if you are self speaking to yourself in a very intentional way about money, about abundance, about health, about joy, about peace, and then you have friends who are typically used to complaining, minimizing, reducing, restricting, like, you're going to go where and get what? Like,
Right.
what's on your vision board? You
Yeah.
want to drive 5 private jets? Like, who do you who? And even though they're still the person that is your friend that you've known forever, their language is not in coherence with yours. And
Right.
it can start to warp your self identity, the
Yeah.
embodiment that you're trying hard to hold on to,
Yeah.
because you're trying to keep this friend who doesn't see the world through that same lens.
Right. You're totally right. Because, and I think that it's, one of my really good friends who is finishing up her doctorate, and
Oh, yes.
I tease her, so I'm gonna send her this video.
Yeah.
Um, Dr. Jasera Glover Doolin, because I feel like we got our doctorate because she's probably gonna be like, "Girl, I did all the work." I'm giving her a shout out because one
Yeah.
of the things that I heavily learned from her is allowing.
Okay. Allowing.
Is the principle, it's a spiritual law of allowing, which means in relation to what we're talking about, friendships, and maybe right now you're not on the same level, your
Mm-hmm.
friends are not on the same level, or maybe anyone listening, you're the friend that's the one that's not on the level with the people that you're hanging out with. But allowing says, okay, if right now we're not vibing, it's totally fine. I will
Mm-hmm.
allow things to happen the way they're going to happen. And I'm bringing that up because sometimes we say, well, I've known this person since I was a kid,
Right.
and I want to maintain, I want to fight for this friendship. But what ends
Yeah.
up happening is you're going to begin to shrink yourself in
Right.
order to, because that person is not going to shrink, or
No.
they're they're only either going to try to grow to match, or you're going to have to shrink to match.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
Well
that's
said.
where the decision has to come in, as to, well, I'm going to allow it. Don't judge it. Like, because
Yeah.
allowing is you don't judge the situation. You don't think about, okay, what could I have done or anything like that. But you just say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm growing. And if
Yeah.
the friendship remains, that's great.
Yeah.
It's just if it turns into just a hi and a bye and a hello every once in a while, then that's great too. If we don't have any odds against one another and we just grow apart,
It's
then
life. It's
right,
life.
then you allow it because. But if there's an issue or a problem, which is some things that we all have to address, then address it, right, and then
Sure.
move on
Sure.
from there, right. But I just wanted to bring that up in the sense of allowing allowing your growth and allowing
Mm-hmm.
what comes and what goes with it, which is very,
Yes.
which is
Yes, it is. They teach us that in those seasons, there's shedding, right? Shedding of old identities, shedding of old patterns and habits, and also shedding of individuals. And
yeah,
I love that she uses the word allowing. In the coaching world, one of the things we love to do is have people give themselves permission.
yeah,
Like give yourself permission to redefine what that friendship looks like,
yeah,
right? Maybe they go from bestie to acquaintance or
yeah,
acquaintance to, seasonal. And one thing that's beautiful, Megan, is when you finally do achieve the goal, the abundance, the wealth that you're calling in, that you're embodying, the right friends return. The
yeah.
right friends say, I remember you talking about that. And I thought you were crazy at the time, but I see
I see
you
it. Yeah,
did it.
yeah,
And then that becomes a testimony for them. So
yeah,
it's never about like cutting people off, but just, I'm going to redefine who we are right now in this friendship.
yeah.
And it doesn't mean that you're wrong or that I'm right or that I'm wrong and you're right. It's just it's defined differently. So I thank you for sharing with us the concept of allowing, the art of allowing yourself to redefine some of those relationships as they begin to morph and shift.
Yeah.
So speaking of morphing and shifting, I want to shift us to what I call a lightning round, where we want to pick your brain, Megan. You know so much. You know so much about wealth and finance and all the things. So this is called Lightning Lounge, where we're asking you for just quick answers, no overthinking, just knee jerk. When you hear this, what is your advice? So are you ready?
Okay, I think so.
All right. All right, lightning round. Lightning round question number one. What is the first thing that you had to unlearn about money?
Ooh, that it was limited.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was
Yes, it's
limited.
not limited.
It's not
Oh,
limited.
there's so much out there, and we self-limit. Would
Yes,
you agree? Mm,
yes. We
mm,
self limit, and what I learned was, and I say this to myself every morning. See, money
yeah.
in the
Oh, I liked it. I
of my
liked it.
tongue. Okay, I say it every morning to myself.
Yeah.
There is plenty of money out there. Money is all around me. I have no lack in any part of my life.
Yes.
And I started doing something called ask formations. And I
Oh.
just discovered this from the gentleman who does Mind Valley.
Okay.
And so instead of making straight statements, I asked myself, like this morning, literally in the shower, I was going, how does it feel to make $20,000 in 1 month? And I was like, it feels so safe. It feels so calm. I was like, how does it feel to be a multimillionaire with
Yes.
many businesses and many streams of income? Oh my God.
Yes.
And then I answer back to myself. And it literally is reprogramming and
Yes.
putting that which you see yourself being in the now and not making it something that's far off.
Oh, I love that. Ask formations. Asking, how will it feel? And then answering yourself in the present tense. Okay, so if I'm trying that, how will it feel when I get my first private jet?
No,
How
but you
do
ask
I,
yourself like in the present. So how does it feel to be able to ride around in a private jet and go anywhere that you want to go?
Oh, it feels freedom. It feels abundant. It feels luxurious. It feels exciting, right? That's a great technique. Okay, so folks, unlearn the concept that there's a limit on money because there's not. And for all of my faithful folks, you know that the kingdom has more than enough and that our God is generous. So there
Yeah.
is no limit. All right, next question here. What is one money habit that quietly changed your life?
Ooh, changing my system.
Okay, your system.
Really realizing that money wasn't the problem, my system and how I manage myself was the
Mm,
problem. So
mm,
was the issue. So changing how I so looking instead of I used to ignore my bills. I used
okay,
to like not open up my bills or not look at my bank account. Just it was an avoidant. If you think about back to natural relationships,
right.
avoidant personalities, what they love bomb you, love bomb in my bank account when that check come. When the
Yes.
check not coming, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. I don't
Oh,
want to talk to you.
yeah,
You know, and then the bank account coming to look for me like, what did I do? What did I say? You ain't saying
right.
nothing, but I'm ashamed, right? So
Mm,
I think one of the major habits was changing the way I approach bills, money, my bank account, things of
yeah.
that nature.
Yes, I love that you're addressing this because let's be honest out there, people. How many of us do not want to look at the account? I mean, even if it's on the phone, Megan, we can go and pull up our community credit union, can pull up the account. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to look at it. What is that saying to your nervous system, your subconscious? Like, I'm fearful of looking at the numbers with which I hold because no matter what I see, it's not enough. That's
Yeah.
lack and
Yep.
that's fear. Oh, that's a
There's,
good
and it's shame. So what's the umbrella of all of that? Is shame. So
one.
there's a shame that, so conquering that shame, conquering that feeling. So why do I feel ashamed? Why does this make me feel less than?
Yeah.
And literally sitting and journaling, asking yourself those questions and saying to yourself, why do I feel this way? Um, why do I, because in my process, that's what and this is what the clients that I work with,
Yeah.
this is an exercise that we do where I say, think about when you're looking at your bank account, um, and then I want you to write down how you feel. I
Ooh.
want you to write down how you feel um, when you're looking at, that you got that check for $3,000 and
Mm,
now you're at 600. How does that make you feel? And then what part of your body is activated?
mm-hmm.
Because that's telling you something as well. Because if it's the show, if you feel a tingling in your shoulder, that means something, or if you feel a tingling in your feet, that means something, right?
Yeah.
It all
Yeah.
matters. And so a part of what I do, I have my clients that I work with strictly on the financial services side, and then I
Yes.
have the new branch of my business where we're working with people on the energetic side and creating a plan for them to get to the place where they can do the financial services side without
Yeah.
blinking an eye, right? But
Yeah.
a lot of times, what it is, it's not the money that needs to be managed, but we're the ones that need to be managed and rewired so that money
Mm-hmm.
feels safe with us, right? And so,
Yes.
so then I'll have them journal and say, okay,
Yeah.
write that down. And then I want you to sit with that
Yeah.
and ask yourself, where did that come from? And more than likely, and I'm not telling anybody to do anything that I haven't done myself,
Yeah.
more than likely you're going to learn, oh, I saw my mom do it, or I used to hear my uncle say that, or I used to hear my dad. My dad used to always come home and be like,
Yes.
another bill, or whatever
Yes.
maybe we treat bills, and I heard somebody say this, I'm not going to take credit, but I forget where the person I heard say this a couple of weeks ago. They were
Yeah.
like, bills are not bad. They're reminders that you get to use your phone every single day.
Mm-hmm. Electricity.
The electric bill is a reminder to say, hey, my lights were on all month. Oh my God. And I get to pay for this to be on again.
Yes. Yes.
Mortgage. Oh my God. Can you believe in 10 years I'm going to own this house? I'm going to own this land?
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
what if we were able to say how wonderful it is that I get to pay my cell phone bill? Sure, I can't. Okay, so yeah, I'm short, but how wonderful it is that I can do a payment plan. Girl, I ain't never been more excited about a payment plan in my life. Thank you. I can
Yes.
defer
Make
that
a way.
payment.
Make a way.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. It's a reframe, is what I'm
It's a
hearing. And
reframe.
I love that. How can we intentionally, one, I love the journaling exercise. And then, but after that, now that you recognize where you're feeling it in your body, what are the stories you're saying to yourself?
Right.
Then after that, we reframe. So if it's, I don't want to see those bills, put it in the bill pile. I mean, I grew up in a house where there was a bill pile. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. It had a rubber band around it. Nothing ever got open. And
Yes.
that was with computers and everything. So we avoid it because there's something we're telling ourselves. What if we reframe it? Okay, look at that pile, all of the amenities and luxuries and utilities that I get to enjoy. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if the Macy's credit card bill. To your point, I heard someone say, Megan, that debt is still money generation. So people think, well, I got a student loan that's 74K that I still got to pay off. I can't buy nothing. I'm in debt. The reframe she gave was, wow, I used 75K to level up my life.
I love
I have
that.
something that no one can ever take from me. These degrees are here forever. And until I pay that off, when I pay that off, it's still true. I generated 75K.
I
That to
love
me, that
that.
reframe, you know?
Yes, because I mean, if we could think about like how many people put their trips on their credit cards and things of that
Yes,
nature. Okay,
yes,
so what? You're in debt. Okay,
yes,
like if you could just say, like how you're saying, what if you just said, how much fun I had in Cancun that weekend?
yes.
Because how much free liquor I got to bring home, how much good food I got to eat.
Yes,
Baby,
clothes I
that
got to
was worth
buy.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Baby, that was worth it. And you know what? And let me tell you something. What I'm saying to you, some people are gonna say, that's really corny. Some of you all are gonna embrace it. But I'm telling you, I've been that person that was like, everything's gotta be positive, everything's gotta be good. And
Mm.
what I realized was, yes, everything
Yeah.
can be. And every single day I work on my thought life and
Yes.
say nothing is impossible. How does it
Yes.
feel, Megan, that nothing for you is ever impossible? That you can do anything, girl? It feels good. It
Yeah.
feels so good, that sort of thing. But it's like you do have to live in that. That's a state of delusion that's gonna
Yeah.
get you to the other side. Because baby, let me tell you something. If Jennifer Lopez can,
Hello.
if J Lo can get a residency singing, baby, you could be a
Oh
millionaire.
no, unpopular opinion. Uh-oh,
Um,
uh-oh,
You could be a millionaire.
If J-Lo can
Beautiful
have a
gowns,
residency, it's possible for everybody, anything.
beautiful gowns. In the words of Mother Aretha Franklin, beautiful
Okay.
gowns. So that's what I'm saying. Just be in the state,
Yes.
have fun with it, and it may not look like a great situation for you. It may
Yeah.
not look like it, but if you change this, if you work on changing the state of your mind and offer yourself some relief, it will, you'll get through it quicker. than if you sit there and say, I'm in mud.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Mm-hmm.
move. There's no way
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you went from being one of those naysayers to now that we live that. We live that every day. The positive self talk, the embodiment, the checking of your thoughts, which
Yeah.
means you're constantly monitoring what you're saying to yourself. And that is a consciousness that many people don't have.
Yeah.
A lot of us, and I was one of these too, before 2 years ago, this was Rachel. A lot of us are on an unconscious paradigm, just an autopilot of what we've always known. And if you're
Yeah.
40 years in, 30 years in, 50 years in, it takes some real work to rewire that. And that's why we're so glad to have you on the show, because Megan can help you all. Megan can help you all. She's a wealth strategist and a financial strategist, an expert in so many ways. As you can hear, she really lives this. So I love to ask each guest one signature final question. It's the same question for everybody. So, Megan, I want to ask you,
Okay.
what did you have to let go of about yourself to lead at the level you're at now?
Ooh. Let
Mm-hmm.
go about myself is, ooh, I feel like I left so much. But let go about myself, I would say perfection.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That everything had to be perfect. That, and because my mindset was if things do not line up, A after B after C,
Mm-hmm.
D,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I wasn't going to move. I would just sit at A until I saw B, C, D, E, right?
Yes. Yes.
But then over time, when you start rewiring your brain and you realize sometimes B gonna come before A, C gonna come before D, Z
Z might throw itself in there.
right, and you're like, wait, I didn't, I thought it was gonna come. I thought it was gonna look like this,
Yeah.
And then I'll give an example. When I moved to Charlotte, I have been working in corporate America for 20 plus years, have
Yeah.
been with the same company for 17 of those 20 plus years. I
Yeah.
was raised, go to school, get a job, pay your bills, right?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
was life.
Yes.
So when I moved to Charlotte and the company I was working with for 17 years, that I
Yes.
they said, "Hey, if you move, even though your position is remote, you cannot work here anymore, honey." And I was like, "What?"
Mm.
And they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to let you
Mm.
go. You're gonna have to just resign, right?" So I did that,
Mm.
and I thought, I'm going to Charlotte. It's the capital of banking. I will find me a job quickly, y'all.
Yes.
When I tell, and I wasn't being picky.
Yeah.
I could not get a job sweeping floors at Walmart. Walmart was not calling me back.
Yeah.
Fast food was
Yeah.
not calling me back. Corporate America was not calling me back. I couldn't get a job. I was on
Yes.
I was
You're
on
talented.
I was on
And you're
Monster.
talented.
Yes, I was on Monster. I was on Indeed. I was on
Yeah.
everything.
All of them. All of them.
LinkedIn, everything. And so the point I'm getting to is I had to sit with myself and say, okay, I said, Lord, what are you saying here? What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the process of deconstructing what perfection, deconstructing what I thought was going to, what it was going to be, because my plan was work in corporate
Get a
America,
corporate job, get a normal benefits
do my music
package.
on the
Yep.
side, do
Yeah.
my music on the side, and have me a good old time in Charlotte. Okay?
Yeah.
But what I found was, man, Z came before A in my story.
Yeah.
So it was like you this is not a season for you to do what you used to do now.
Mm.
You have to do the unthinkable. You have to bet on yourself. And I had never betted on myself before. And if you ask my friends, they'll say, "You've always been the risky one. Like, we don't,
Yeah.
baby, I
Yeah.
wasn't taking enough risk." This is me jumping. And I don't know I don't know what that looks like for me. I don't know. It's like, okay, but I'm going to jump. What I'm saying is just stripping
Yeah.
away of that need,
Perfectionism.
that perfectionism, and I
Yeah.
still have to work on it every single day. I still have to say to myself, it's okay.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
It
I
doesn't have
think
to be perfect.
it resonates with something a coach taught me, which as you lean into creating content and putting yourself out there, right? One of the biggest hesitations is I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I'll be ready when I see A, B, C, and D
Right.
all ready. And she reminded me, one, you'll never feel ready. You will never feel ready.
Yeah.
You have to do it even when you're not ready. You have to do it even when it's not perfect. So I agree with Megan. And I know we have eaten up about, I don't know, 45 minutes of your precious time. You're probably ready for that nap. So I want to thank you for joining me and all of the listeners today. And
Yes.
for everybody, please make sure that you find Megan. We'll include some of her links to her LinkedIn or Facebook so you can get in contact with her and start working on your own money mindset. You know that it is a fact. What we think in the mind is what we see in the physical.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing overdrafts, you're seeing, I want to make more, you're seeing and feeling some dissonance between your real goals and what's happening in reality, then we need to start working on the mind. And Megan is the person
Yes.
do that. So I want to thank you for joining me. And it's so good to see we have worked together. We have grown up together. We have gone to
Yes.
church together. And now we're finally in our wealth era. How does it feel? How does
Yes.
it
Girl, it feels good. It feels safe. It feels destined.
feel?
Yes.
Yes, inevitable, as
Yes.
Neville Goddard would say. And I want to thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone
Thank
who
you.
encouraged me to finally do this podcast and have wonderful guests like Megan on. And please make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned because we're going to have even more great guests just like Megan. And Megan, you will come back, right? Will you come back?
Yes. Definitely. I'll be back.
Wonderful. Well, I thank you. And remember, everyone, when you are here in the Rachel Leadership Lounge, there is something I want you to always take away. Leadership is not just about having a title and having everything all figured out. It's about being willing to grow, and even when things aren't perfect, and even when you're not feel ready. So I thank you all, and join us next time. See you later. Thanks, Megan.
Bye.
Bye.